Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to meet with us today as we discuss creating extra revenue without extra effort. My name is Matt Alina, and I'm the Final Expense Manager here at URL Insurance Group. And I'd like to give a warm welcome to all of you who are brand new to URL and learning more about our brokerage. So today we're going to be discussing final expense life insurance sales for Medicare agents. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a Medicare agent in order to utilize some of these tools and these resources that we're going to be discussing today in our presentation. You can be a P&C agent and still kind of get creative on how you can offer life insurance or final expense insurance to your existing clients. So we'll be getting into that in detail here on what you can do to help grow and create additional revenue opportunities for your clients or for your business. So I'm going to start with a quick brain teaser. And the question is, what is always coming but never arrives? What is always coming but never arrives? We'll give you the answer toward the end of today's presentation. So today's seminar goal is the act of discovery. Our goal is to help you discover something. What is the definition of discover? The definition of discover is the act of finding or learning something. So today, our goal here at URL is to help you discover and take advantage of the extra revenue opportunities through your Medicare relationships. How are we going to do that? We're going to show you some different sales opportunities that your Medicare business can propel you into other opportunities. We'll also be discussing CMS-compliant cross-selling techniques that you can use. We'll also discuss who your final expense client is. If you're looking at your existing book of business of all your clients, we'll help you identify who your final expense client is. We'll also discuss the Orion Concierge advisor services that we have here at URL, also known as our referral program. We'll also share with you different marketing tools. We'll also help you set some realistic goals, and at the very end, we'll open it up for questions and answers. I think we can all agree that no sale takes place, whether you're buying a car, whether you're buying new windows, whether you're buying any product or service. You're not going to make a purchase without trusting the person that you're doing business with. So if I were to ask you, what does trust mean to you and how do you establish it? Some people may say, well, doing the right thing each and every time. So you're being consistent. You're proven to be knowledgeable. So you're doing extra classes and taking extra courses. You're getting extra certifications so that you can become competent in the products and services that you offer. So you're proving to be knowledgeable. You also stick to your word. Your word is your bond. You have integrity. You work in your client's best interest, so you're loyal. You have integrity. And you make yourself accessible, whether it's through emails, you return phone calls, you answer the phone, you make yourself available. So consistent, competent, having integrity, being loyal, being available, those are all great ways to establish trust with your client. Now, if I were to go into any part of the life insurance industry or in the insurance industry that we're in currently, I would start with the Medicare side of things. And the reason I say that is because there's so many great opportunities that Medicare can propel you into different directions, whether it's annuities, life insurance, long-term care. There's so many different needs that your Medicare clients have. So in addition to Medicare, you can help people with other services. But again, the sale doesn't go without establishing trust. So you take the different pieces of that puzzle, having integrity, being consistent, being available, and you're able to establish a trust. Now, when it comes to Medicare, most people do not understand Medicare, and you have a way of being able to take a complex subject like Medicare and narrow it down to an understandable thing for your clients. So you're able to establish trust by being competent in that Medicare business. And because you're able to help the client understand what their options are for Medicare, you've established a trust. And once you've established the trust, they're rewarding you with their Medicare business. Now, during that entire time, you're explaining to the client the different options. You're not selling Medicare. Yes, you're selling Medicare indirectly, but you're really teaching the client on the different options so that they can make an educated decision. When you're on a Medicare appointment, what is your common goal? When you're meeting with a Medicare client, what is your common goal? You and your client both have a common goal. And I think we can all agree that it's to find the most affordable, cost-effective solution to fulfill the client's Medicare needs. In other words, the client is looking to keep as much of their hard-earned money in their pocket, and your job is to help them keep as much money in their pocket. That's your common goal. But it's all to work in the best interest of your client. Since 1986, URL Insurance Group has been serving the independent insurance broker like you. We go with the motto, we're in the people business. We have to have good products and good services. We have to establish a trust with you so that you will do business with us and that you will then be able to bring that business and sell the products and services that we offer. If we don't have good products and we don't have good services, we're not going to be in business. If you take a look at the URL Insurance Group logo, you'll see that there is a three-part heart. And those three parts represent the insurance sale. It represents the client. One part of the heart represents the client. One part of the heart represents you as the broker. And one part of the heart represents URL Insurance Group as the brokerage. If you don't have a client, we don't have a broker. We have a broken heart, and we're out of business. So the same tools and the trust that you have established with our Medicare department here at URL, we want to let you know that those same services that you're accustomed to also transcend to all the other departments here at URL. With partnering with URL, we're going to help you grow that trust with your client. We also want to grow that trust with you and our other departments. And by growing that trust and using your Medicare business, we can help you spring into other sales opportunities, like life insurance sales, final expense sales, annuity sales, long-term care sales, and even some of the ancillary products that are out there too, like dental and vision and so on. So we can help you with cross-selling, where you don't have to continue to do additional prospecting and purchasing leads and everything else. So how do you do that? Last year at this time, we rolled out a compliant cross-selling tool, what we call our intake form. And at the very top of the form, it says, I can help you with other services. While you're completing your client's Medicare paperwork for the coming year, this is a way of you to be able to compliantly relay the information to your client that you can help them with other goods and services that are out there. You can help them with IRA rollovers or CD alternatives, which is annuities. You can help them with life insurance or final expense, long-term care, dental. So while you're completing the paperwork, have them complete this paperwork. Now, if they say yes to any of these areas, you know the next phone call that you'll make is going to be to URL, and we will help you with every step of the way. If they say no, that's okay. We still have some cross-marketing materials and cross-selling tools that you can approach the client again at a later date. Now, this is CMS-compliant because it doesn't ask about any health questions or anything like that. It doesn't get any pertinent personal information. We already have that through the Medicare application. So this is just a way of you being able to prioritize who you're going to contact. It also relays the information and shares that with your client that you can help them with the other goods and services that URL offers compliantly. We do this because your competition is spending thousands and thousands of dollars every day to get in front of your clients. They're doing telemarketing leads, they're making phone calls. to try to get in front of clients that you've already established a trust with. They're also going door to door, trying to get in front of the clients that you've already established a trust and a relationship with. So you have an advantage. You've already established a trust with that Medicare client. Why would you let someone else work with your client when your Medicare client already trusts you? And why do they trust you? Because they feel and they believe that you provided them with the most affordable solution to their Medicare need. If you're not cross-selling and you let somebody else in the door, that person's going to come in the door, they're going to sell them that final expense life insurance plan or that annuity. And what's stopping them from revisiting them and trying to steal your Medicare client? So here are some of your this is the characteristics of your Medicare client. So we can all agree their age is 65 years of age and older. And right now, the baby boomer generation, that's what they're known as, that represents 44% of the US population today. Most of the baby boomer generation, they still read newspapers and magazines. That's where they get their news and their information. And it's not to say that they're not on social media, but they still get a lot of their news from newspapers and magazines. 65% of baby boomers are going to be working past the age of 65. Some of them are doing it because they want to, and some of them are still working because they have to. Now, this generation is also known for the free love and equal rights, the hippies, if you will. Peace, taking risks. They're also very self-reliant and they're independent. They don't want to rely on anybody else. They'll take care of themselves. They're also kind of known as the rebellious generation. And while they're known as equal rights and free love and very self-reliant and independent, a lot of them avoided long-term planning. So who is your Medicare client? Age of 65 years of age and older. They're either retired or they're on a fixed income or a limited income. Some of them have some pre-existing medical issues like heart attacks, cancers, strokes, diabetes, and so many other complications that are out there. Some of them have a limited budget. They still want to maintain their independence. They don't really want to rely on their family. They don't want to rely on children or grandchildren. And once you've established a trust with them, they're willing to trust you and they're willing to listen to your advice. Your final expense client, they're around the ages of 50 to 85. They're also on they're either retired or they're on a fixed income with pre-existing medical issues like heart attacks, cancer, strokes, diabetes, a limited budget. They still want to maintain their independence. They don't want to burden their family, their children or grandchildren, and they're also willing to trust you and listen to your advice. Looking at a Medicare client and a final expense client, you'll see that they are the same people. It's the same person. The person that needs Medicare, it could also be the same client that needs a final expense plan. So really the easiest cross-selling opportunity out of all the other things that you can offer to your Medicare clients is final expense life insurance. Final expense life insurance, some of the characteristics of these plans. Now, final expense life insurance is an industry term. Final expense is an industry term. It is still a life insurance policy, and they're affordable for most budgets. They're easy for clients to qualify. There's no medical exams. There's no medical records that need to be obtained. It provides the client with a peace of mind. And these plans are easy to explain and they're easy to understand. They're whole life policies where the client pays a set premium and the beneficiary is going to get a set amount of death benefit when the person passes away. And because these plans are easy to qualify with very limited or very minimal requirements, the policies get issued quickly. And when these policies get issued quickly, you get paid quickly too. So now let's take a look at who your final expense client is and how to identify who your final expense client is in your Medicare book of business. Their ages 50 to 85. Now these people are going to be Medicare Advantage clients or dual eligible clients, meaning they have very limited financial resources. Even though they have limited financial resources, they still don't want to be a burden to their family or loved ones. They're kind of the blue-collar people, meaning they earn money, but they never really drew the attention of financial planners or insurance agents. Some of your clients, some of your Medicare Advantage dual eligible clients may still be working some menial jobs just to make ends meet, just to keep food on the table, the lights on, be able to keep the house cool. They may be in a trailer or a double wide. They're kind of the salt of the earth, straightforward people. Some of them are very cynical. Life kind of dealt them a bad hand. They've worked for everything that they've had. They've never really had a lot of extra. They're kind of the salt of the earth people. Now you have to be able to relate to them and be able to listen to some of the challenges that they've had in their life. And a lot of them didn't plan on failing, but they failed to plan. Now I don't want to say that they necessarily failed in life. They just didn't have a lot of extra, and they didn't really put a lot of money aside, and they met their financial obligations, but they really never had a lot of extra that they could live comfortably for the rest of their life. So that is your final expense client profile. Now, from time to time, I get asked, what's the average cost of a funeral? Now, if you ask a life insurance company, they're going to tell you it's between $20,000 and $25,000. They're in the business of selling a life insurance policy. So there's a website called parting.com, and that's where funeral directors all across the country have kind of put in their 2 cents to kind of give the different fees and costs. The average cost of a funeral, this is for a traditional burial, is about $9,000 to $10,000. And that's nothing extra. This is just a basic, plain vanilla funeral. It's between $9,000 and $10,000. Now it's a little more expensive in certain areas, and it's a little cheaper in certain areas. It just depends on where you are. But this is not. There is no extras here. Cremation is a little bit cheaper, but even at $9,000 or $10,000, that's a lot of money for some of our clients. That's real money for some of our clients. And who has that kind of money? It's not like death waits until we have enough money saved up to pay for our funeral. So offering a life insurance policy can help your clients come up with that kind of money. So we have our final expense sales tools, and one of the greatest sales tools and complete marketing, turnkey marketing systems that I have seen in the industry is a program called Legacy Safeguard. Legacy Safeguard is offered through Mutual of Omaha and your relationship with URL Insurance Group. They have a complete turnkey marketing system from soup to nuts on selling final expense life insurance and cross-selling to your Medicare clients. They've put together a thank you letter that starts off by thanking your client for allowing you to help them with their Medicare needs. And then it talks about ways to plan and leave a legacy for their family and the member benefits that are included with Legacy Safeguard. We'll get into the member benefits here in just a couple minutes. They also have some other cross-selling letters that you can use. These are ways to keep in touch with your client while also conveying that you can help them. Now that you've helped them with Medicare, you can help them with other things. Legacy Safeguard has member benefits. These member benefits include a legacy planning guide software where people can share historical information about them and their family and where they come from. It also will help them with Legacy Planning Archive, where they would be able to get the information for the obituary, as well as bank information, insurance information, so that when the loved one passes away, the family is not going through shoeboxes in a closet trying to piece a puzzle together to figure out where mom or dad or grandma or grandpa have their money. They also help with estate planning support if they need to get any help with any documents there. They also help provide a free living will. They also provide end-of-life planning and guidance. I call this the funeral concierge service. So what I mean by that is when the loved one passes away, whoever is taking care of the funeral can call Legacy Safeguard, and Legacy Safeguard will help with locating a funeral home They'll also help with the family getting bereavement airfare if families are scattered all across the country, so they can get back home for the funeral. If they need hotel rooms, they'll book hotel rooms for the family. Car rentals, they do all of that. So basically, when that person gets that phone call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning that their loved one passed away, they have somebody that's looking over their shoulder and helping guide them every step of the way. They also help celebrate life events. They put together a nice family legacy DVD. They get discounts for FTD flowers, as well as discounts for prescription drugs at Walmart and Sam's Club. And all of these member benefits are free to your clients. They're free for your clients, and it's also free for you to offer them to your clients. You have access to this program through URL Insurance Group and our relationship with Mutual of Omaha. So while you're offering these member benefits and you get the client excited about these free benefits that they get, it's a great opportunity to ask your client, who in your family and friends would you like to sponsor in the Legacy Safeguard program, in this free membership program? This is how you gain referrals. These referrals can help springboard you into more Medicare sales, so you're growing your business there, as well as offering life insurance, final expense insurance. The Legacy Safeguard program has also put together training guides on how to earn referrals, how to sell final expense life insurance, and how to also offer the Legacy Safeguard and final expense life insurance. So it's a complete training. And like I said, this is one of the most robust and most complete marketing programs that I have seen in the industry today. And it is free for you through your relationship with URL and Mutual of Omaha. So if you get contracted through Mutual of Omaha through URL, you'll automatically have access to the Legacy Safeguard program. So now that you see that there's some great tools and resources available, let's get back into talking about our clients here. According to a 2016 LIMRA study, Life Insurance Marketing Research Association, they found that 42% of Americans say that they are concerned about burdening others with their funeral expenses. This is where life insurance can help alleviate that concern about burdening their family with funeral expenses. Whenever there is money problems, families begin to fight. Siblings begin to fight over, a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there, as well as the big stuff as well. So a life insurance policy can avoid that family fighting, and it really could be the glue that keeps the family together. LIMRA also did a study and asked people who purchased life insurance, what was the reason you bought life insurance? 85% of the people that purchased life insurance said it was to cover burial and other final expenses. Final expense life insurance is the #1 reason why people buy an insurance policy, to cover burial and other final expenses. Now, when you're doing life insurance, you have to sell life insurance as a solution and not really talk about death, because a third of the people aren't buying life insurance because they don't like thinking about death. So how do you open the door and have a discussion with a client about life insurance? We've put together the top 5 lead-in questions. These lead-in questions, when you're in sales, you know that it's to open the door, to have a discussion, and to basically lead the client to a path that you want them to take so that they realize that they need a certain product or a certain solution that you have. So question number 1, have you or someone you know ever been responsible for making funeral arrangements, and how did it go, and were there financial problems? If it went well, chances are there was enough money to carry out that loved one's final wishes. If there were financial problems, a life insurance policy, or if it didn't go well, the chances are there were some financial problems. There wasn't enough money to carry out the final wishes. People were having to dip into their own savings or put it on a credit card to pay for those funeral arrangements. A life insurance policy can help that person, avoid that. They don't want to be a financial burden to anybody else in their family, so they can help avoid that with a life insurance policy. Who will be responsible for your funeral arrangements, and are they financially prepared? That's question number 2. This is my personal favorite. Who's going to be responsible for your funeral arrangements, and are they financially prepared? They're probably going to tell you their son or their daughter, or maybe their spouse. And are they financially prepared? Meaning, is there money to be able to carry out your final wishes? Listen to their answer. A final expense life insurance policy might be the solution. Question number 3. Does your spouse have enough savings to protect against the immediate loss of your income? This is for people who are still working, and the spouse may still be at home, or maybe they're both still working, but they rely on each other's income to make ends meet. A life insurance policy can also be income replacement. One of the misconceptions about final expense is that money automatically has to go to a funeral home, and that is not the case. That is not true. It can go to pay for anything. It pay off medical bills. It can pay off credit card bills, car payments, mortgage, anything. A final expense life insurance policy is just a smaller death benefit whole life policy that can be used for any host of things. Question number 4. This is for your clients who are widows or widowers. Are you aware that your bank accounts and assets are not always immediately available to your children upon your death? This is one of the nice selling points of a life insurance policy. It avoids probate and it avoids taxes. That money goes directly, the full benefit goes directly to the beneficiary, tax-free and quickly. And then question number 5, a very direct question. If you don't take out a life insurance policy, what alternative plan will you use for your family? So if you use this formula and break down the word ask, A means ask questions, A-S-K, ask questions. Listen to their answer and suggest solutions. A good salesperson not only asks good questions, but they listen to the client and then they're able to suggest solutions, which is letter S. By doing this, you are keeping your clients. It's all about client retention, so that you are not leaving that back door, the side door open for another person to come in and establish a relationship with your client. Now, people don't like talking about life insurance. People don't like talking about death. But one of the quotes that I like is that you can tell the person, it is my job to ask you about life insurance. Please don't make it my job to tell your family you didn't have any. Our job is to ask about life insurance. Don't make it our job to tell you your family didn't have any. Also, if every wife knew what every widow knows, life insurance would never have to be sold. One of the sales techniques that I've learned over the course of the last couple of months is using the website GoFundMe. Most of us have heard of the website GoFundMe. And here's a way for you to use a tool or resource. If you go to the website GoFundMe.com and type in the search engine results or for funeral, you will see that there is a number of people that are looking for money to pay for a funeral. When I did this particular slide, there was nearly 890,000 people looking for money to pay for a funeral. You can ask your client, would you like to get a small life insurance policy for as little as $1 a day? Or would you like your family to have to set up a GoFundMe page to help raise the money to pay for your funeral? So it's a great way to use GoFundMe. It's free to basically show, look how many people you're going to be competing against to get money for a funeral. It also is kind of an eye-opener for me personally, being in this industry, that we're not doing a very good job of letting people know what life insurance does and that it's a solution to some of their needs. So seeing all the different tools and resources and opportunities that are available, we're encouraging you to pick up the phone. There has never been another invention in the world that is more vital to us making money and increasing our sales than a telephone. Pick it up. It makes you money. You can be proactive and call your clients to talk to them about the different services that you offer, or when somebody calls you, answer the phone and pick it up. It makes you money. And you have to understand, you have to believe, while you believe that the Medicare products that you're offering are great for your clients and you're helping them with their Medicare need, you can also take that service to the next level and realize that you are providing your client with a whole, complete, well-rounded service with life insurance. If a client goes without life insurance, they have two choices. They can either go without life insurance, they can get life insurance. Without life insurance, the person dies, their family grieves. Now the family must find money to bury them. The family must find money to pay the bills. The family is going to struggle to make ends meet, and the family is sad. With life insurance, the person dies, the family is going to still grieve, but they have money to bury the person. The family still has money to pay the bills, and the family can focus on grieving, and they don't have to worry about finances. So you're not selling life insurance. You're explaining to a client what life insurance can do for them and for their family. But even when you state and make a really good case supporting why they need to buy life insurance, you're still going to get common objections. And here are the three common ones. I can't afford it. Let me think about it. Or now is not a good time. So let's address the I can't afford it response. So here's what you can say. Now these are all just ways to get back at the client so that you get one more swing at the ball to try to close that sale. So if they say, I can't afford it, relate with them and let them know that you heard their concern. I appreciate your concern. The fact that you can't afford it is the very reason you should get this coverage. How difficult would it be for your family to cover your final expenses and your loss of income? So just kind of getting back to them. I appreciate your concern, but the reason you can't afford it is the reason you should get this coverage, because if you don't have the money for this, how's your family going to cover your final expenses and your loss of income? Another rebuttal to your good case about life insurance. Let me think about it. Again, let the client know that you heard them. I understand how you feel. In fact, others have felt the same way. And I have found that when somebody wants to think it over, it usually means that I didn't explain something properly, so that I can be sure I haven't left you with any questions. What are you most concerned about? Is it price? Is it the coverage amount or the plan that I'm recommending? Make the client expand on that and try to get them to make a decision today. Or now is not a good time. Again, you're relating to the client. I understand your situation. Now keep in mind that insurance premiums are based on your age and your health conditions today. And I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but something could happen between now and then your family's going to be financially stuck. Don't you think that it makes a little bit of sense to at least provide something for your family today? Again, it's just another way for you to take another swing at the ball to try to close that sale. Final expense life insurance, as I mentioned earlier, it's affordable whole life insurance. It is a life insurance policy, and it's designed with seniors in mind. What do I mean by that? Clients that have medical problems, heart attacks, cancers, strokes, diabetes, COPD, and a whole mess of other things, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all those things. The client can still get coverage with a final expense plan. These plans are fixed rates with a fixed death benefit. So the client pays a set amount of money each month or each year, or however they want to pay their premium. And when they pass away, their beneficiary is going to get the set death benefit amount. The rates, as long as they pay the premiums, the rates are never going to change, and the client is never going to outlive the policy as long as those premiums are paid. There are no medical exams. There are no medical records for the insurance company to have to get. The plans are quickly approved, and you get paid quickly too. Here at URL Insurance Group, we have about 18 different final expense life insurance plans. We have guaranteed issue plans for clients that have HIV, or they're on dialysis, or they're on oxygen from COPD or emphysema. We have the guaranteed issue plans all the way to the level benefit plans as well, the plans that offer benefits day one. How do you know who's going to be the most competitive? We have a final expense quote engine at urlinsgroup.com. When you go to Life Markets, click on Quoting Tools, and then you'll click on Final Expense. And it'll take you to this quote engine where you'll put in the state where the sale is taking place, the client's date of birth, their gender, tobacco use, the amount of coverage, and get quotes now. It does the shopping for you. Now, I don't recommend that you get contracted with every carrier under the sun, but we can certainly help you with selecting a carrier or a couple of different carriers to make sure that you're competitive and so that we're not trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. And here at URL, we're here to support you every step of the way. Now, you have two choices when you work with URL. You can go the independent route, where we're going to help you get contracted. We're going to help you with getting supplies and help you with prospecting. Or you can utilize our Orion Concierge Advisor Services. Now, you'll hear what we call the Orion Program from time to time. So what is it? Well, it's upon your request, we work with your clients. Now, we're going to do the work, and we're going to split the commissions with you. And it's all so that you can help build stronger relationships with your clients and also add and increase your revenue without having to do all of the work, without having to know all the ins and outs of each of the different products and services. But we're going to help you diversify your services, and we're going to treat your clients as well as you would treat them. And the best part about it is the client is still your client. We're only talking to them as you want us to talk to them. We keep you in the loop of our conversations, and the client is still your client. We're not trying to build a book of clientele. These are your clients, and we're just helping you grow your business, build stronger relationships, and diversify your services. You can submit Orion business or a referral to URL through our website under the Orion Concierge Advisor Services. You'll click on Submit Client Contract. You'll put in your contact information, what services you're interested in us contacting your client about, and then your client's information and any notes that you want us to know, any information you want us to know about the client, and then click Submit. So you have a couple of choices there. You can go the independent route, you're going to get the full commission, or we'll split the commission with you here at URL, and we'll do the sale for you. Here's another way to look at it. If you take a look at the numbers, and with the average commission being around, or the average premium being about $600, if you did 10 sales independently, you're going to make an extra $6,000 in your pocket. 20 sales is $12,000. 30 sales is $18,000. 50 sales, $30,000. Some of you have very large books of business, a lot of Medicare clients. 50 sales is definitely a reachable goal for some of you. If you do the Orion program where you just refer it to us, cut the commissions in half. You're still getting something. We're doing the work for you. So 10 sales is $3,000, 20 sales is $6,000, 30 sales is $9,000, and 50 sales is $15,000. So the next steps for you is, first of all, if you want to go independent, we can help you with selecting the carriers you should represent. We'll get the sales materials and supplies ordered for you. We'll contact the clients to set appointments. You'll contact URL for any sales support and marketing support that you need. Submit the applications and watch your revenue grow. If you do our Orion program, you'll introduce interested clients to URL. We'll do the work, and you can watch your revenue grow. So at the beginning of our seminar today, we asked the question, what is always coming but never arrives? What is always coming but never arrives? And the answer, tomorrow. Tomorrow is always coming because there's always a tomorrow. So instead of always kicking the can down the road and saying, yeah, I'll get to it, let's set some goals today. How much additional revenue do you want to make? So if you're selling Medicare or you have P&C business that you're doing, how much additional revenue do you want to make? Write it down on a piece of paper and have that goal set aside. Write it down. If you have it in your head, it's only a dream. Where if you write it down, it becomes a goal. So if we can, together, we can set a goal, we can make a plan to reach those goals, get to work. We'll make some adjustments from time to time, stick with it until we reach the goal. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions while you're on the call today. This is to help me gauge my service levels and how I can help you. My first question today is, do you currently sell Medicare with URL? Are you currently selling Medicare with URL? Go ahead and answer that question. Okay, a couple more seconds to answer the question. Thank you. Next one, are you interested in selling final expense? Couple more seconds here. Thank you for answering. For those of you interested in selling final expense, how much additional revenue do you want to make? Do you want to make an extra $10,000 to $25,000? An extra $25,000 to $50,000? An extra $50,000 to $100,000? Or more than $100,000? How much additional revenue do you want to make through final expense? Okay, a couple more seconds to answer that. Thank you for answering that. And lastly, would you like URL to help you set up a goal to make a plan to reach your goals? Would you like URL to help you set up a plan to reach these goals? Or would you like to do it on your own? Just a few more seconds to answer. All right. I appreciate your questions or answering my questions. Now it's your turn to ask your questions. What questions do you have for me from today's presentation? What can I answer for you? You can type your questions using the toolbar, and we can read those questions and get those answered for you. Or a lot of you sometimes have questions at the end of the presentation, and that's fine. You can reach me direct at 717-216-8041. That number bypasses the switchboard, goes directly into my phone. 717-216-8041. 8041. So while we'll stay on the line here for a couple more minutes. Again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us for today's presentation. Again, my name is Matt Alina. I'm the Final Expense Manager here at URL Insurance Group, and we look forward to working with you and helping you grow your sales and help you reach your goals. And we also look forward to helping you with your Medicare sales. For those of you that do Medicare with us, we thank you for your business and your relationship and your partnership. Not seeing any questions coming in, so I will again thank you for joining us, and we look forward to working with you on your final expense cases. Have a great day, everybody.